you know, and the whole focus is this confession, as I call it. I confess my wrongs, man. I confess to things that most people would say, man, you gotta put a gun in my head and make me say it about myself. I degraded myself. I made people see me as, oh, he's filthy. He's foul. He did this, he did that. I did it. I'm not gonna set myself on a pedestal, man, like a pillar of any community. I got wrongs and sins and stuff like that. Come to you false. Yeah, man. I was in prison the whole time I was in there. I ain't mess around. I ain't do nothing. I worked out, lift weights, ate my noodles. All that old fronting. I tell you the real truth, man. What went on in our Sunday people don't talk about? Yeah, I've been in prison, man. That's it. And I could have done the same thing, man, but I thought y'all deserved more than that. I thought y'all deserved for once for somebody to just sit there and just tell the actual truth about a penitentiary, man. What really goes on in these places, how it really is, not the Hollywood version of what you think, but how it actually is in a penitentiary. And I told it. And so and I knew in telling my story, right, if I'm gonna be truthful, I'm gonna be saying things that gonna make people say, oh, mm-mm. You're gonna have some that's gonna understand and a lot that ain't. But you know what I'm saying? I didn't care, man. I still felt y'all deserve to hear the truth. And even when I told you the truth, there was still some that says, I don't know if I can believe all that. You win some, you lose some. Hey, look, I'm not with that either. But whoever's listening, I wanted you to hear the truth, right? Ain't no fabricating, ain't no holding back and all this. I'm telling you exactly what happened. And the most surprising thing was we backed ours up with documented proof. Not words coming out of my mouth. We got documents on paper that everything I spoke about all the way to the lawsuit, man, all of it's documented. Everything is on paper. And we present that to y'all.
You know, I have to tell the truth. I came to Fleece probably about 6 or 7 months ago when I felt like the channel was kind of getting stale. I was like, you know something, we need. And he hadn't even told all his stories. He still haven't. It's a lot of stuff we can't even put on video. So, but I came to him. I was like, man, we probably need to drum up some stories. And he was like, nah, I'm just gonna tell the truth. I'm gonna tell my true story, and I'm gonna stick to that because I've seen other channels come up with stories that factually they just wasn't true, but they were entertaining. And on her, you want to you want to be able to tell the truth and entertain at the same time. And when you feel like the entertaining part is dwindling, then you start trying to get creative and you start doing what other channels do. And I'm glad that he was like, nah, I'm gonna stick to my stories. I'm gonna tell the truth, stuff I know. We don't write nothing down. If we would have went the creative fake route, we would have had to write stuff down. He would have had to read it and learn it and all that. And with his mentality, it just wasn't gonna work. But he told the truth the whole time. But in saying all that, Fleece, I want you to explain to everybody what happened when they filmed the MSNBC Lock Up Raw Scary Straight documentary.
Well, it was done at a time when I did all that fighting, I done, I done got, my name is everywhere in prison now. But I done calmed down. I'm going through a calm down mode. I don't want to be in the hole no more. I done did 12 years in a hole. So now I'm out here making money, man. Enjoying my life out there with everybody else instead of being locked up in a hole. And so the prison was fine with it. They act like they was fine that I done calmed down at least, man. They don't care about me getting weed in and whiskey and all that. Just don't hurt nobody, you know. So I was part of a spirit straight program in prison. When I was in a hole, they'll bring teenagers in and we'll come and scream at them and scare them straight, right? And I had more success than anybody. I knew the right things to say to bring a tear out of them. And so they brought MSNBC in to do a documentary. And the warden was a woman, Nancy Doon. She said, "Hey, Fleece, if you do this, you'll be helping a whole lot of people." And I'm looking at it like I'm never getting out of penitentiary until I serve my last day out. That's about eight or 9 more years away. And I was like, I said, yeah, I'll do it. I said, but if I do it, I'm going to say what I want to say. She said, okay, that's fine. So I said it in my mind, I'm just saying anything. Whatever pop out of my mind. Crazy is whatever. That's what I am, crazy. I got up there and said what I said. And I said, well, I'm not going to tell him how the penitentiary is at the moment. I'm going to tell it how it was when I first came in and just leave it there and let them figure out if it's still like it or not. Because I fought for rights in her. And at that particular time, I done fought through all that. And now the prison is safer now. But I said, I ain't gonna do it. I'm just gonna leave it in the air. So I told my story. Well, about a year or two later, I'm back in the hole. So this guard, a lot of guards, they like me. The one that brings me stuff. Food from home, all this. I ate good. Big country meals, man. He said, "Hey, Fleece, you on TV now." I said, "On TV for what?" "You remember that documentary?" I said, "What about it?" "They made one out of you and made a cartoon. You running around taking people's butts." I said, "You a lie." He said, "We was told not to tell you. But it don't look good." Another guard told me. Then a woman guard told me. A black lady.
So you had no idea at this point?
I had no idea they done took his stuff and took it from the purpose of helping the youth to targeting me and putting me in a bad light for what? So now I'm back on it. Now y'all want to fight me again. So the fight's on. And
So that's what made you start fighting again?
Yeah. And when I fight hard. I don't fight by rules, regulations, ethic codes, and all that crap. When I fight to win. Period. If me and somebody's gonna have a fight, if I could get you with your back turned, sitting down, laying down asleep, I prefer you to be sound asleep.